Your apostle, Suzanne Howard, your personal development coach and counselor. I hope y'all had a good weekend. I hope you enjoyed last week's segment that we did on how to hear from God. And I pray that you'll continue to connect with me on your work. Well, today starts a new week, and I want to ask you a question. Do I love me? Do you love you? I know off the top of your head, you're like, yes, of course I do. I mean, have you looked at me? Then I'd ask, well, how do you know? And you might say something like, have you ever seen how I dress, how I carry myself? I wear the best. I never leave the house with my hair undone. From my crown of my head to the soles of my feet, I'm sharp at all times. And I might respond to you and say, some of the most unhappiest people in this world generally are comedians. So you aren't telling me anything about loving yourself. Have you ever experienced that over the moon sensation when you find out someone loves you? Woo! Those words mean the world. I love you. Your heart races, your stomach flutters, and you finally find comfort in knowing you matter. Or it doesn't even have to be a lover. It can be positive feedback from your boss. You did a great job on this assignment. You've earned this reward, or you get this raise. A promotion is coming. Or about from a friend. You are the best friend I've ever had. Your loyalty has been insurmountable in my life. Or it could be a parent who might be older and ailing who finally says, I always loved you even though I didn't show it enough. Don't you feel those words right now? That sense of I matter to someone, or that someone loves you, admires you, and cares for you is deep and it's natural. It feels good to matter, to be important in someone else's world. Unconditional love is something all human beings crave, and unfortunately, many people do not get it, especially from within their own family origin. That's a tough one. The love they get is based on actions. Remember growing up? Oh, you were a good girl. You were a bad girl. Why did you do that? Or you're a good boy. Or it is given out sporadically when the parent or guardian, whoever raised you, that adult in the picture, feels like being magnanimous. Very rare, far and few in between. Most people never really experience true, unconditional love from another person. The closest feeling, it seems, that people are getting this love is from pets. Not the way God intended this to happen for us. Because you might be lacking in self-love, and because it is somewhat dangerous to leave your emotional state open and depending on someone else to the whims of someone else, and because heartache can follow those beautiful words, in most cases, it is important to learn how to love yourself. Loving oneself does not mean developing a shell and blocking out the world. It doesn't mean having an ego so big that no one else can fit into a room with you. That's not showing that's love. That's actually insecurity. It doesn't mean foregoing relationships because you only enjoy being with yourself, though there is something with being able to be alone. And while it may be tempting for many, it doesn't mean you should only have pets, people, for the rest of your life. It does mean becoming comfortable, say that word, with who you are. It means recognizing that someone else who didn't learn unconditional love in their life has a hard time giving it. Come on, exhale with me. It's early. It means recognizing that most human beings hurt and they pass that hurt along to other people. Understanding this can help you turn your attention from waiting and wanting someone to make you whole to realizing you have that ability inside of you. Yes, you right now. Here's your soul work. I want you to practice loving self-talk. Start with your mouth. Sometimes the things we say to ourselves internally, not out of the mouth, but that mouth inside, are the most awful, demeaning things anyone would ever think about you. We are our worst critic. Instead of drilling into yourself today, how terrible you are, how badly you messed up, or how embarrassed you are, I want you to stop using self-defeating language. I want you to reframe things. And I want you to use language that builds you up and not tears you down. The journey doesn't happen overnight. Start taking a couple steps now to surround yourself with loving care from yourself. I want you to write down 5 things you'd wish for, you waited for someone to say to you. Not just anyone, but that someone. What do you long to hear from that church that hurt you? From that pastor that you were looking for more from? That church relationship? Say it to your inner self. Maybe you wanted mom or dad to say, I love you, or I'm proud of you, or I'm sorry you didn't go to college, or I'm sorry you had kids so young. I want you to say those words to you. I want you to write them down, at least 5. I want you to write them down. And next to each one that you list, I want you to either say thank you or you are forgiven. I want you to do the work. And I want to do this work so that when we meet in 2020, we will meet our authentic self, at least a better version of that. God bless you. I want you to have a supernatural day. And I pray that you are hearing from God and completing the work that we've begun on last week. You are important to me. Every email, every messenger inbox, every Instagram IM that I get, you are important to me and you matter. I'm up here in the morning talking, not because I'm lonely or I don't have things to do, because you matter to me. Why? Because I believe there are many Suzannes out there that need someone to speak into them, no matter what age I'm meeting you at. There's been an absent voice in your life, an absent affirmation in your life, an absent matriarchal in your life. And God has positioned me to do that. And I'm coming through this airway every morning and I'm coming to get you. Continue working to hear from God. But this week, we're going to add to it and we're going to find out, do I really love myself? The proof is going to be in you pudding. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Do your work. Come on, 5. List 5 that you'd like to hear. Be the one to tell yourself these things instead of looking for it from someone else. And if it's a praise, I want you to write thank you next to it and I want you to verbalize it. It's a forgiveness. I want you to write you are forgiven and I want you to verbalize it from your mouth. What a difference it is when this valve right here can release the pain and suppression of our heart. God bless you all. I love you and I'll see you tomorrow.